You and your students are going to have so much fun with this Jeopardy PowerPoint game. And the topic of this one is Être, Aller, Avoir, and Faire. Now, these are all in the present tense. These, of course, are the most used verbs in French, and they're all highly irregular. So, anything you can do to get in a little extra practice, and if it's fun, well, that's a win win for everyone. These are the categories in this Jeopardy game. Tente ta chance, cap ou pas cap, méli-mélo, c'est parti, allons-y, et foncez. This is what the game board looks like. So you can see there you have your 6 categories, and each category has 5 questions. The students will choose the level of difficulty of the question they want to attack during the game. You will receive, when you purchase this game, instructions on how I like to do this game in my classroom, because when you have a little order, everything runs much more smoothly. And I'll explain to you how to divide your students up into teams and how to deal with the daily double and the final Jeopardy, which I'll show you here in just a minute. This game includes all kinds of fun sound effects. You can see down there in the bottom right corner that you have sound effects that you can play with. And when you get to the questions, this is the first one in the first category, you can see that right here you have a go to answer option. That's where you click to go to the answer. So the student gets the question, they have to fill in the blank with the present tense conjugation here for the verb être, and then you can check their work here. And hopefully they will be accumulating some euros for their team. I am going to go through all of the questions that are included in this Jeopardy game so you can see exactly what they look like and if this is a good fit for you and your students especially. I'm going through them kind of quickly just so you can see. Again, these are all in the present tense, and I'm using all of the subject pronouns. Je, tu, il, elle, on, nous, vous, il, et elle. All right, so eventually what's going to happen is one of your students is going to fall upon a daily double. Now, as I said, I've explained how to deal with all of this in the instructions that I've included with this game. But when they get to a daily double, a student gets to actually wager the amount of euros. You know, does he or she feel confident? And they have to make the wager before seeing the question. Now, the daily double is going to be a little bit more difficult than the other ones. I'm going through all of these right now. These are all of the questions from the different categories, okay? But this is a present tense game, so as long as they know the conjugations, it's not too difficult, but they will get to see the verbs being used in different contexts. The daily double, in order to make it a little bit more difficult, you can see that I've changed the subject from a regular subject pronoun to notre famille. And sometimes, at least my students, have a hard time grasping that famille, even though there's more than one person in a family, it's still a singular subject. So that's good for a daily double. Here are some of the other questions that you'll get to before finally getting to the final Jeopardy round. Now, in the final Jeopardy round, each team will select a team member to represent them, and they get to again make a wager and try to win this game for their team. Again, the final Jeopardy, in order to make it a little bit more difficult, I've changed the subject pronoun to tout le monde. Again, a lot of my students want to make this plural because tout le monde, being a collective noun, they just sometimes think that the answer, that the verb should be conjugated in the plural where, it's singular. So here's the answer for that one. Voila, that's it for the Être, Aller, Avoir, and Faire Jeopardy game. I have lots of these in my store and even a big bundle where you can get all of them, and it's 50% off. Merci beaucoup et à bientôt.